How's it going?
Not very big place, but they're still fun.
Nice. We're out here interviewing people.
For what?
Veganism.
Oh, veganism?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah.
I think it's healthy for you, but I still like eating meat, you know what I mean?
So
It just tastes better. It tastes good to me, you know?
we didn't stop eating meat because of the taste. We stopped eating it because we didn't want to violate their rights, the animals' rights.
Okay. The
Yeah.
animals' rights?
Huh?
The animals' rights?
Yeah. So, like, what do you think about cannibalism?
Cannibalism?
Yeah.
Man, some people do it in the parts of the world.
Right.
I've never ate human meat.
Do you think it's fucked up?
Yeah, I do think it's pretty fucked up.
Right. So, like, just because something tasted good, does it justify me killing them because they taste good?
Nah, that doesn't.
Yeah, because, like, what if I, like, bit you and I was like, yo, you taste so good, I want to chop you up. Can I, like,
All right,
take you
run
down?
from me. I get on my surfboard and start swimming out there. I go to that island over
Yeah, so, like, there's videos online of, like, cows that they'll try to run away with when the boat gun is to their head. Like, they'll knock out the gun from people's hands, or, like, they'll try to yank out their horns because they're trying to get out. So same way, right? They have a fight or flight response.
Yeah.
So to say that they're not aware is an excuse because there wouldn't be videos to prove that
Yeah, that
they're trying to
get
run away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how does that make you feel knowing that they do try to defend themselves from being consumed for human consumption?
Well, it's I really don't know because I was raised eating meat. You know what I mean?
Same here.
Like my whole family, like all my life has like been eating meat. So I think it's fucked up, but dang, you know.
Yeah.
I can't.
I understand,
If I
yeah.
could stop it, I would stop it, but
Yeah, and
'cause I don't like slaughtering animals or anything like that. But I do spearfish. But whatever I spearfish, I eat myself. You know what I mean?
okay.
It's not like I don't go out and sell it or anything like that.
So I would say, like, how would you feel knowing that someone wanted to live and then you take their right away to live? Like, how would that make you feel if someone just predetermined your death for you? I knew about it, but I didn't try to stop it, and I let them kill you.
Well, I don't know. I've never been dead, so I don't know if I can feel anything after death. You know what I mean?
Right, but you know that the animals do because they're sentient and they're aware. So what I'm trying to get at is just because something has been done for a really long time, does it make it moral? Like, you know, things in the past used to be legal and seen as moral, but do we still do it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so things change in history, right? Because people find moral justification and stuff like that. I'm Hispanic. I grew up eating meat, like holidays, traditions, all this kind of things. But then I had a change of heart by watching this documentary called Dominion.
Oh, Dominion?
Yeah, so it shows you like all the industries: meat, dairy, egg industry, fish, fashion.
Yeah, I got a buddy that he grew up and like his family they own like a bunch of like chicken chicken farms. He says he won't ever eat chicken ever again. And so
Yeah.
just because of the way like they were treated and stuff like that. Like they're in the dark all the time and they're eating like food that's with their feces and stuff like that.
And that goes for a lot of animals. Like this humane, organic, certified propaganda is all marketing to make the consumer feel better. And animals are usually in small, confined spaces, mutilated so they don't hurt each other because they get stressed out just like we do. And they also, not only that, but develop like ulcers and all kinds of diseases being around each other in small spaces in their feces all day. So that goes for cows, turkeys, chicken.
Yeah.
So you are aware that the conditions are bad and yet you still consume them.
Yes, I did.
So what do you think you can do?
I don't like. I try not to eat at like restaurants and stuff like that. And whenever I do like eat meat, I try to eat more fish than anything.
So it's like me saying like, oh, they're only a little bit dead.
No, you could be dead or not dead.
Right, so that's what we're saying, like it's either they're dead or not dead, and to say like a little bit makes a difference is just another excuse, sorry to say. So basically, what I'm trying to get at is you don't need to consume animals to be able to sustain a lifestyle. Like, these guys,
Yeah.
they've been vegan for like so many years. So how do you think they like keep that up? Do you think they're like nutritionally deficient in some areas? Or do you think like
No, I went vegetarian for like a couple of months not too long ago with my buddy, man, and I lost weight, but that's really due to me like my diet switching from eating over here to versus just eating off the land. So I wasn't eating as much as I could because literally my stomach was hurting because I was transitioning from eating more fish and stuff like that to going to eating nothing but vegetables.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't realize, but a lot of the meat has antibiotics, hormones, and all these kind of stuff that your body eventually develops a kind of attachment, like an addiction, like me trying to quit cigarettes. There's hormones in the meat that make you go through that, you feel like you're dying because you're detoxing from stuff.
Yeah.
But I want to get back to the point about the spearfishing and stuff like that. I understand in a survival situation, if there's nothing to eat and there's fish and other animals and I needed it to survive, that can be justified. But we're in Puerto Rico, there's options. I can go to the grocery store. I don't have to go and hunt out for whatever I eat. I can just make the non-cruel option at the grocery store. So did you know that fish have more than 20 pain receptors?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they suffocate when you take them out of the water. And there's
I knew that, yeah.
Yeah, so how would you feel being suffocated out of the water?
I think that would suck, actually.
Yeah, so imagine for them, there's even videos out there of animals being inside of a plastic container at the supermarket, still alive and trying to get out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so to say they're not aware or that they're not trying to save themselves, it's there's evidence out there to prove that they do have a reaction to sentience. They have sentience, so they react.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say is your best excuse for not going vegan?
My best excuse for not going vegan, honestly, is meat tastes better, man. It does. I tried falafel. I love falafel, but it's not like eating a hamburger. You know what I mean? It's just the taste difference for me.
Okay, so like we said, we didn't stop eating anything that you don't eat as far as vegans. We still eat nachos, burgers, tacos, burritos. Everything is just veganized. And there's different types of vegan meat too. There's, I said, there's options now. And we know that for us, we don't want to put someone in between as far as there's a victim involved. When you consume an animal, we know that they didn't want to die. So is my taste pleasure going to justify a lifetime that they could have had?
Yeah.
Because I bet you don't remember exactly what you ate last week, every day.
Every day last week?
Yeah. Could you recall lunch, breakfast, dinner, snack?
Oh, well, I really only eat at nighttime once a day. That's it.
So my
pretty much it's every night when I do eat and I got money, I pretty much just eat some tuna fish and a little bit of bread and stuff like that. Maybe if I got enough money, get some onions and some bell peppers, chop it up and put it in there.
So my point is you don't exactly remember everything that you ate, but at least for them, they remember all the torture and enslavement that they went through in order to be used for your 10 minutes of taste pleasure. So is it worth your 10 minutes of taste pleasure for their life?
Oh, man. You got me on the spot. Nah, it really isn't. But it's this, people are going to do it nonstop, you know what I mean? Because everybody, most 90% of the world eats meat. Yeah. So that's trying to stop it is you have to have an army.
So I'm asking you as an individual, not everyone else majority. Because if everyone decided to be a rapist, are you going to start raping people?
Hell no.
Right. There's people that are psychopaths and they do shit like that. So it shouldn't be a justification that just because the majority does it, it's okay for me to do it. Like,
Yeah, I understand that.
in history, we've had moments where we thought like stuff was legal, moral, and things have changed throughout history because we've recognized that that's not okay. Do you think you could like name me a few injustices that have happened and people had a change of heart throughout time? Could you recall any?
Slavery.
Yeah. So that's a big, very big no one. Women's rights, gay rights, like things have changed. And not to say that they are completely abolished, but they have gotten better throughout time. Like I wouldn't be able to have this conversation with you without like permission from my husband or like being in the same area or whatnot.
There's still countries to where women have to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's like just because things have been done the same way doesn't mean that we can't make changes now. And especially if we're having someone involved in our choices, it shouldn't have to like be a justification. So what I'm saying is it worth taking their life for you to have like the taste pleasure?
No, not really. Since you put it like that, not really.
Well, you got some really good friends over here that know so much about veganism. So to say that it could be a hard switch, I don't think so, because you have like great people around you to help you, and I feel like you're a very compassionate and empathetic person. So just know that like if you don't align your morals with your actions, like if they don't come together, that makes you a hypocrite, basically. Yeah. So do you want to be known as a hero or an oppressor in your lifetime?
As a hero? Who wants to be an oppressor?
Right. And for them, like whoever is deciding to take away their rights or their like right to live, for them you're seen as the oppressor. So why continue to put them in that situation when they don't need to be in it?
Well, I don't put them in that situation.
But
other people do.
Yeah, so
I could assume it. Yeah, I could assume it, but I'm not out there just like putting them in chicken coops and stuff like that. I'm not killing them or anything.
What about supply and demand?
Supply and demand, well, that's always going to happen no matter what.
Right. So we live in capitalism society. So as long as I demand something, it'll continue to be supplied to me.
If it's just one person, that's not enough demand. You have to have masses for demand.
So that's the same.
That's whenever the supply comes in.
Imagine that's the same thing someone said back then when they were trying to like abolish slavery. I'm just one person. I can't do much. Like my words don't mean shit. Like if we all had that mentality that our words and our actions didn't have power, we wouldn't have done so many things like architecture, science, all these other things. So I would say like reclaim your power, because you as an individual, you do have power. Every time you go into a grocery market or something, you are basically voting in to your product to be supplied to you. Yeah. So in the process, who's getting paid? A hitman to kill the animal for you, farm owners to keep the land, and then also like people who upkeep the area and stuff like that. Like everyone has to get paid somehow. So your money is contributing to this injustice, whether you like it or not, if you continue to demand it.
Yeah. Well, that's a pretty good point. But the same thing goes with farming for like vegans too, you know what I mean? Because you got to have a supply and demand for vegans. Vegans like vegetables and stuff like that. I'm not saying that's like murdering animals or anything, you know, but same deal goes. If you got like a mass of people that want a certain amount of thing, then there's going to be the demand for it.
So do you think...
I mean the supply for it. People are going to supply it.
Do you think most of our land is used for like food production for vegans or food production for animals?
I'd say both.
So
because where I grew up at, we got masses of land that are just for corn, sugar cane, vegetables and stuff, like huge, like bigger than like the cow fields and stuff like that, and you know, like other like just like meat farmers and stuff like that. Because if you get out there and you start farming, and I've done farming before, man, we got like fields and fields and fields of just like corn, sugar cane, watermelons, pumpkins, stuff like that. And
So
it's like masses of land for that.
So if that were actually the case, I think there would be more humans than animals in the population, but unfortunately there are more animals than humans, and most of like land is used for animals feed. So basically what I'm trying to get at is the main cause of deforestation is to grow food for animals because there are more animals than humans. So my contribution of like eating a piece of soy isn't going to be like compared to me eating like a cow, because cows, they need water, they need food, and if we see it from like a mass scale, if a lot of people are demanding them, there's going to be an complete destruction of land to use the crop for them. So what I'm trying to get at is that there is more of the feed being used for animals, not for vegans. If it were for vegans, there would be way more options at the supermarket, but unfortunately there's not a lot of vegans compared to meat eaters.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that our demand hasn't created some kind of supply, because now we see alternatives at the grocery stores versus like a few years ago it was really hard to be a vegetarian or vegan, and now we don't really have that problem.
Yeah. I know lots of vegetarians all my life, you know what I mean? It's like I said, I grew up eating meat, you know, that's what I'm used to eating and stuff like that. I've been eating it all my life, you know. I've done like the vegan thing a couple of times, you know what I mean? But to me, it's just like, it's the taste difference for me.
Okay, so like I said again, taste doesn't justify murder, at least for us.
Yeah.
And we just want people to be aware that your taste pleasure does implicate a victim in the process. So we're vegans, we're not vegetarians. So vegetarians still make exceptions, and like dairy's...
Okay, so, yeah, what is the difference between vegan and a vegetarian?
So vegans, we take a stance on boycotting these industries that mutilate, enslave animals and torture them for like consumption and other commodities, entertainment. Vegetarians make exceptions, like they still have their milk, honey, eggs, and
What's wrong with honey though?
so the queen bee, their wings are clipped. They only make enough honey for their colony. So like they're basically controlled by the farmer, like the honey beekeepers, to make enough honey that is basically puts stress in their body to like make more honey, because they only make enough for their colony, so they clip their wings so that they make more for like human consumption. So they artificially inseminate bees too, like they rape the bees to make more honey. So
I never knew that.
yeah, there's a lot of things that people don't know about these industries that oppress animals, and that's why we talk about them, so that you at least are aware of your food choices, because I feel like it should be a right for people to know what they're consuming, right? You would like to know where your food is coming from. Yeah. So that's why we're not vegetarian, because there's still an animal being subjected to some kind of oppression in the process. So that's why we decided to go vegan, because we are more worried about their rights being violated more than anything.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So what would you say would, like, in general, just stop you? Just the taste? Is that all that?
Yeah, it's just the taste, man. Honestly, it's really, for me, it's the taste. It really is, you know. Like I said, I went vegan and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, there's awesome vegan food. Like I love veggie curry. That's very awesome. I like falafel. That's cool too. I like falafel a lot. And I love hummus. I can eat hummus all day, every day. If I had
You still can. Like we don't crave the taste of meat, because like that would be stupid for us, at least, because we know that animals are gonna be killed and murdered and stuff like that. So that's why we always choose the non-cruel alternative, and we still get our nutrients, we still get our vitamins. We're still like out here thriving on a vegan lifestyle. So it's not impossible for you to do it, is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. Well, I like the way fish tastes, man. It tastes good.
Yeah, well, like I said, what if I thought you tasted good and I just wanted to like chop you up and fry you up and eat you and no one would ever know where the fuck you were at and I just like ate you. Yeah. So like I said, people psychopaths can say the same thing. Like I like the feeling of raping a child, so I'm just going to keep raping kids. Or I like the feeling of like having sex with dead corpse. Like there's people like that.
That's just nasty.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. It's a violation of the rights of the person or the being involved because animals are sentient. So
Yeah,
they
yeah,
feel, they're aware, they have emotions, they have families, personalities. So they're not oblivious to what's going on. So if I know that you don't want to die, I don't want to be a bystander or like violate that right because you have every right to live. If you were being subjected to murder or rape, enslavement, I would be advocating for you right now. But I'm here advocating for the animals because they are the victims. Yeah, they don't speak our same language, but they have their own dialect, but that doesn't mean that they are not aware.
Yeah, I understand that. But like I said, it's like the demand for meat. That's sensational right there. You know, there's always going to be somebody who wants to eat a steak or eat some pork chops, you know what I mean? Or like me, have like a fish fillet, you know?
And there's always going to be people advocating for animals too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So like we're also aware that we make mistakes too. Like we're not perfect. Like sometimes we might buy a product and we don't know there might be milk or honey or egg in it because we have those mishaps. We're not perfect either, but we at least try to reduce as much suffering as possible.
Yeah. I understand that too, and I'm down for that too because I don't believe in animal cruelty. I don't.
Yeah.
I like animals more than I like humans.
Well, lead with that intention, right? So like if you believe in that, then walk the walk. Don't just talk the talk, walk the walk. That's what we're trying to get at. Because if you know that animals don't deserve to be like abused and shown any cruelty, then you wouldn't consume them. Like it's me saying like, oh yeah, there's ocean dead zones because of overfishing, and I go the next day and have a fish fillet sandwich.
Yeah.
Like it's hypocritical because I'm a part of the problem. So like I said, you as an individual, you do have that power. And because there are people making a demand is because there are people like you creating that demand. But there's also people like us reducing and stopping that demand completely.
Well, I don't know. All I can say is, to me, it tastes better than vegetarian food.
Well,
Seriously, it does. It's like, to me, it's like really good.
I would definitely recommend watching this documentary and
Definitely will.
let me know.
What, with Dominion?
Yeah, let me know what you think about this and tell me if you still have like not the craving to consume fish and other animals. Watch it from start to finish. I dare you.
How long is it?
Like an hour and 30 minutes.
That's like a regular like movie length time, right?
Yeah,
there.
it's one of, if you like horror movies.
I thought you was gonna say 5 hours long. I was gonna say
No.
sections.
No, if you like horror movies, this is one of the best horror movies ever, and it's real life, so like it's not fake.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out, see what the deal is.
Yeah, and if you don't, these guys will definitely ask you if you have or haven't.
Definitely, I'll see him more than it.
Yeah. So, just trying to like make you think, plant seeds in your head. I don't expect you to like say, oh yeah, Cammy, like I'm gonna go vegan at this moment. No, like I just want you to be aware of your food choices and also just take into consideration that as long as you continue paying for like these products, animal flesh and secretions, that you are creating the demand for them to be oppressed, enslaved, murdered, mutilated, and confined in a small places. So so we want you to recognize like animals will continue to be abused in your name if you continue paying for this. Sit with that. Or you can also not and change. I mean, it's like 9 a.m. You have a whole new day to start. So it's up to you now what you want to be known as in your lifetime, a hero or an oppressor.
All right.
Cool. Thanks.
No problem.